I'll tell you about a really insidious form of a setback is when we're just actually not fully awake to ourselves. My son Richard in high school, he used to sleepwalk. Do any of you sleepwalk? If you're raising your hand right now, you must have an interesting life. Well, he would wake up at about 2 in the morning. I'd hear him walking downstairs. And he'd walk right out the front door and stand at the edge of the street in his boxers. I'm kind of a light sleeper, so I would hear him wake up and walk out the front door, so I would go outside in my boxers. So there we were, standing on the edge of the street. It's at least a misdemeanor. And I didn't want to wake him up because I read in the psychology books how he'll be 50 and still living with me. So I would just stand next to him until he said, hey, I think I'm going to go inside. Now, he looked fully awake. He was talking to me like he was fully awake, but I knew he was sound asleep. And so he would go back inside. We all go to bed for the night. And the next morning, I'd always ask him, like, buddy, how'd you sleep? He's like a rock. I'm like, not. That happens to us. We're actually, it's like narcolepsy. We think we're awake, but one of the things that's actually happening is a huge setback. We're walking through our lives not fully awake to what's going on. And it happens to all of us. I don't get invited back to many churches twice. You can figure out why now. But there's this one church that invited me back a third time. And I'm like, what can I bring with me? I brought a live chicken. I'm not kidding. There's not a lot of things to do in Uganda, but what you can do is hypnotize chickens. Have you guys ever tried this? You've got to turn off the video, go find a chicken, gonna change your life. You put it on its back and you just start rubbing its neck right here about 20 times and the chicken will be out cold. And as soon as the chicken was out cold, I went to the edge of the stage, I put my hands in my pockets and I gave the rest of the sermon. And 3,000 people are thinking, when's the chicken gonna wake up? And I said, that's exactly how God feels about you. He wants you to wake up. The setback that you're actually, it wasn't a house on fire, it was that you're walking through your days asleep. Wake up. And if you can get to that part, you're going to actually be awake enough to your faith, awake enough to the opportunities around you, awake enough to your ambitions that you'll actually take a couple risks. And when something bad happens, you're not going to get put off the scent of these beautiful ambitions. You're going to sustain belief and get back after them again.